Hello guys, in this video I am going to show you another example on how to solve a problem in normal stress.
So if you wish to watch my first video, just follow the link below. So here's our problem. The homogeneous bar ABCD shown in figure below is supported by a cable that runs from A to B around the smooth peg at E, a vertical cable at C, and the smooth inclined surface at D. Determine the mass of the heaviest bar that can be supported if the stress in each cable is limited to 100 megapascal. The area of the cable AB is 250 square millimeter and that of the cable at C is 300 square millimeter. As we examine the figure here below, so the cable C here is have a larger area than the cable AB. So just by inspecting this figure, we already know that this cable AB is weaker than cable C because they have the same material. We know that they have the same allowable stress, but they have different area. So this cable, the cable C, is bigger or have a larger surface area than cable AB. So let's proceed. So first, when we are solving a problem in mechanics, the first thing to do is to draw a free body diagram. So free body diagram shows the body in steady and the forces that acting on it. So as we see the figure, when when it is a cable, it is always in tension. So let's see. So we have here the tension from point A. So let's just call it TA. It has 30 degrees from the axis. So next is the tension in point B. So let's just call it TB. And then we have the tension here in point C. And last is this one. So the reaction at D. So this is the normal force here. So when we say normal force, it is acting 90 degrees with reference to the plane. So the common problem the students is facing when making a free body diagram is the angle. What I'm doing is to rotate the plane. So let's take a look at it. So when you rotate the plane 90 degrees, so there you can easily determine the angle of the this reaction force with reference to the vertical So when it is 50 degrees, we know that a triangle has a total of 180 degrees. Since we have a 90-degree angle here, the angle of the reaction with reference to the axis of this bar is equal to 40 degrees. And then last one, so the last force that acting to the bar is its weight. The weight of the bar, since it is homogeneous, it is equally distributed throughout the bar. Okay? So when it is equally distributed, we can get the resultant. So the resultant of the weight is acting in the center of the gravity, which is located in the center of the bar. Okay, so we just convert it, the uniformly distributed load, into a concentrated load, W, which is acting in the center of the bar. Okay, so just look on the distance. So it is in the center, so 3 meters from the right and 3 meters from the left. And then from the problem, so the area of cable AB is 250 millimeters squared. The area of cable C is 300 millimeters squared. And the allowable stress for both cable is 100 megapascal. And we are asked to find the mass of the bar, the maximum mass of the bar, so that the cable AB and cable C will not damage. Okay, so now that we know all the forces acting in the bar, so we can start our computation. So the first thing we do is to get the summation of forces along the horizontal axis. Okay? So since we have here tension A, which is 30 degrees from the axis, 30 degrees from the axis, and we have here the reaction force, which is 40 degrees from the axis, and we know that our bar is in equilibrium. It means that our bar is not moving. So the horizontal component of the tension A is equal to the horizontal component of the reaction D. So to get the horizontal component, we use the cosine of the tension, cosine 30, the tension A, and the cosine 40 degrees of the reaction D. So we just equate forces and then simplify the equation. So just the arrow here indicates that when it is going to the right, we use positive sign, and when it's going to the left, we are going to use negative sign. So our RD, or the reaction T, is equal to 1.13 TA. Okay, and then we know that the tension A and tension B is equal because it is made of one rope. So we just equate TA equal to TB, and let's call it TAB. Okay, so we now have our equation 1 and equation 2. So next thing to do is to formulate another equation, which is the vertical forces.
So considering the vertical forces, the arrow here indicates that when the forces is going up, we are going to use positive sign. And when it's going down, so we're going to use a negative sign. So first we have the vertical components of tension A, so call it TAB, and then the tension B. So it is going up, so it is positive. And then next is the tension C. So it is also going up, so we're going to add tension C. And then next is the vertical component of the reaction at D. So it is also going up, so we're going to use a positive sign here. We're going to add the vertical component of reaction D. And then last is the weight. So as we notice, the weight is going down, so we're going to subtract the weight. Again, our bar is in equilibrium, so the summation of vertical forces is equal to 0. So next is to simplify our equation. So we're going to get the sign of our tension A for the vertical component, and then the sign, also sine 40 degrees of the RD or the reaction at D to get the vertical component of it. So to further simplify our equation, so since we already get the value of RD, so we're going to substitute the value here from equation 1. So it is equal to 1.13 TA. And then since our TA is equal to TB and we equate it to TAB, so we just replace TA and TB with TAB to further simplify our equation, and then we get this value 0.5 TAB plus TAB, so that's 1.5 TAB, and then we just multiply 1.13 by 0.643, and then we get 0.726 TAB. So we further simplify the equation, so we just add 1.5 and 0.762, and we get 2.226 TAB, so plus TC, and we get the value of TC. So TC is equal to W minus 2.226 TAB. We just transpose this one to the right side of the equation. So we call it our equation 3. And then we are going to formulate again another equation. So this time we are going to use the moment. The moment of a force is a measure of its tendency to cause a body to rotate about a specific point or axis. So to get the moment, we just multiply the force to the distance. So from the specific point, okay? So again, this arrow just our reference to identify if it's positive or negative. It means that when it tends to rotate clockwise, so we're going to use positive value. And when the force tends to rotate the object counterclockwise, so we're going to use a negative value. So in this uh, figure, so we're going to use our point D as our reference for getting the moment. So since the vertical component of tension A is 6 meters from point D, so we're going to multiply it by 6. And then as we see here, the horizontal component of tension A has a 0 distance. So its distance from point D is equal to 0. So we're going to cancel the horizontal component of tension A. And then next, we have tension B. So tension B is 4 meters from point D, and it tends to rotate the body clockwise. Okay, so we're going to use positive sign. We're going to add that one. And then next one is the tension C. As we see, tension C is 2 meters from our point B. So we're going to add it because it tends to rotate the body clockwise. Okay? And then last one is the weight of the bar. So the weight of the bar is 3 meters. So it's 3 meters from point D, and it tends to rotate the bar counterclockwise. So we're going to subtract it. Okay? And then again, since our body is in equilibrium, meaning the bar is not moving, so the summation of all the moment is equal to 0. Okay guys, so now that we already formulate the moment equation, we're going to simplify this equation. So using the value of what we already solved before. So we already have 3 equations here, and we just substitute the value in our moment equation. So here first, the vertical components of our tension A. So we all know that the tension A is equal to tension B, and we call it TAB. Okay, so getting the sign, and then we just replace this TB to TAB, and then substitute the value of TC, which is equal to here W minus 2.226 TAB, and then subtract 3W, and again equate our moment equation to 0. So getting the values, we have 3 TAB plus 4 TAB plus 2W minus 4.452 TAB. So we get that from multiplying 2 here, and then minus 3W. So just add all that TAB so we get 2.548 TAB minus W equals 0. Now we can get the value of TAB. So it is equal to 0.392 W. So now guys, all of our equation is complete. We can get the value of W using the stress equation. Considering the cable AB, so we have here the stress. So our force is equal to the tension AB and then the area of AB. So considering that, we just substitute the value from the given. So the stress is equal to 100 megapascal and then the tension at AB is equal to 0.392 W. So that's from our equation 4. And then divide it by the area. Then we just cross multiply it and then just simplify our equation. Okay? And then from that, we can calculate the value of W or the weight of the bar, which is equal to 63,800 Newton or 63.8 kilonewton. So since we have another cable attached to the bar, so now let's consider the cable C. So just use the tension of C here and then the area of cable C. So just substitute the value since we already get the value of cable C in terms of the weight. So we have here just substitute the value from equation 3, which is W minus 2.226 and then substitute the area and the stress. So using that equation, we can now solve for the W. We just here substitute again the value of the AB from equation 4, which is equal to 0.392 W there. So simplifying this equation, we can get 0.127 W equal to 30,000 Newton. So just divide 30,000 by 0.127 and then we get 236,000 Newton or 236 kilonewton. So as I said before, the cable B is much more weaker than the cable C. So as what we computed here, but what we are looking for is the maximum mass of the bar that these two cables can carry. So we are going to use the value we get from cable AB because when we use 236 Newton to get the mass, 236,000 Newton, cable AB will be damaged, okay, because it is weaker than cable C. So we're going to use 63,800 Newton to get the mass of the bar. So we know that mass is equal to the weight over the gravitational acceleration, which is 9.81 meter per second squared. So Newton is equal to kilogram times meter per second squared. When solving problem, always consider the units, guys, because just knowing the units, you can formulate your equation. Okay, so just dividing that, you get 6,500 kilograms. So that is the maximum mass that these two cables can carry. So when you exceed 6,500 kilograms, it means that the cable AB will be damaged. Okay guys, so I hope that you learn in this video. Thank you very much for watching.